This is the new 6.7 litre, 8-speed powerline transmissioned Ram diesel, and it's the first one into the UK. And today I'm going to tell you why I absolutely love it. Before I get technical on you, and you know I'm going to get technical on you about the diesel stuff, let's talk about some fun facts. I am 6'9", and literally look how tall this thing is. It's higher than my head. Deployables as standard with a nice little Ram badge. A screen for your passenger. Look at that. One of the most important buttons on this vehicle that separates it from the petrols, it's this. The exhaust brake button. Oh yes. Oh yes. If you've owned one, you know why I'm excited about that. Now underneath this plush interior is something exciting that separates it from a 1500 Ram. Underneath here is a large enclosed subwoofer. Now this, along with 18 other speakers in this cab, give one of the best sound system experiences I have ever come across in a motor vehicle that's factory standard. And yes, you can keep your G-Wagons, you can keep the rest. You have to hear one of the sound systems in these for it to be appreciated. They are awesome. Ram box storage with a rather amusing little pull handle. Have a look at this. So you could definitely fit ice cubes, alcoholic beverages, tools, small children. And on that subject, if you do happen to have a small child that is stuck in the Ram box, don't worry. They can pull on this handle and release themselves into the safe surrounding areas within a second or two. This truck's pretty big. They've come up with an ingenious solution to getting in the back, which I like. Look at this. That is ace, isn't it? No electronics, no complication. And it allows even someone old like me to be able to easily get in the back and look sprightly as well while I'm doing it. Now let's talk about this bed while I'm in here. This bed is a 6 foot long bed. You can have a 6 foot or an 8 foot. 6 foot I think is much more popular. Now it comes with a cool little divider. These two little levers pull out and you can move it back and forth. Now traditionally this used to hang onto the back on there like that, and you can even see, look, there's still the emblem. There was some little twisties that allowed you to lock that in if you were putting an 8 foot long item into your 6 foot bed. And it is amazing. This was on my 17 plate truck. Sadly, they've changed that law in America and you can't do that, but I think you can get a retrofit kit to put that back on, because obviously this is still the same. There's also some little sliding hooks to be able to fasten items down, but we're not going to go on about crap like that because it's boring. Let's talk about brass tacks, because everybody that's watching this in the UK and everywhere really is going to want to know how much one of these costs. Now, before you do compare it, let's talk about residuals, because when it comes to American vehicles, they are specialised and their residuals are high. Look at classic American cars. Every year they go up and up and up. To give you an example, I bought one of these trucks, basically exactly the same as this, in 2017. I paid £60,000 for that truck, brand new in 2017. I kept it for 5 years and I sold it on Auto Trader for £59,950. So 5 years of ownership cost me £50. That is hard to even comprehend, isn't it? You know, you're at home and you're thinking, well, I've just bought a new Defender and I bought it a few years ago for 90,000 and now it's worth about 40 and it's 3 years old. Well, yeah, that's because there's absolutely loads of those on the road in the UK. American vehicles in the UK are much more rare. Now, this is not going to apply to my American viewers, and I know there are American viewers because obviously a lot of my engines and things are going to America. So yes, you're probably going to be in the US and you're going to be probably on the other side of the foot thinking, well, if you buy one of these, it's not worth as much second-hand. But in the UK, it absolutely is. Now, some of the things to consider about owning one of these. Most of these American cars, trucks, are going to be owned by hobbyists and enthusiasts. I'm not saying all, because I have seen some American vehicles in really rough condition, but generally they are going to be owned by someone that's passionate about owning something special and unusual. So usually this also really helps to keep the premium of these vehicles up. If you're wanting to know a bit more about buying a used one, stick around, because we're going to be talking about another Ram that I have that's an older version and what to look for if you're going to buy something like that in the future. But for now, let's stick to the subject in hand. Let's have a look under that bonnet. Exciting stuff under the bonnet if you're a diesel fan, because it has a 6.7 Cummins turbo diesel. 430 horsepower, 1,075 pounds-foot of torque means that this thing will pull a house down. There's also some exciting new changes to make it quieter, to the timing gears and some other components, and trust me, it is. Now there's also something exciting specifically for the diesel fans that follow my channel in here. Now if you know about performance diesel engines or turbocharged engines in general, you'll know who Gale Banks is. And inside here, if you look just there, that aluminium inlet manifold on the side of that Cummins engine is a nod to Gale Banks himself. The Cummins cast grey graphite iron block normally has also cast iron graphite head. And it doesn't have an inlet manifold as such. It has a casting on the side with a pipe that goes into it, and it's not the best for airflow. It's not terrible, but the low revving engines However, 20 odd years ago, when common rail started to become a thing and they started to put common rail onto big diesels like this, Gale Banks got involved, like he does when something cool happens in the diesel world. And he said to Cummins, I'm going to make that faster. And he did lots of modifications, including chopping off the cast iron side of the head and making a separate aluminium inlet manifold. Now in 2025, I'm stood here next to this brand new truck, and this is the first model to have it, to actually have that innovation that Gale did all those years ago, but by the Cummins factory. And that's exciting for me. That's enough for under the bonnet. Right, let's talk about some obvious differences between a 1500 Ram and a 2500 Ram. Can you see what the first one is? Look at the bonnet height difference between these two. That is quite considerable. Now this is a Laramie model, this 1500 behind me, so it has the spring suspension, which most people say makes them look taller. But I will say that both these trucks are totally standard. They haven't been modified in any way. And look how much higher that is. That is like considerable. I'm 7'3", and this thing is towering above me. I mean, it's down here on me, isn't it? Absolutely mad, the difference. There's a big difference between the suspension in this four-wheel drive truck to this four-wheel drive truck. This still has big, beefy, solid, traditional axles, whereas this has wishbones, floating wishbones, just like a car. So many would say that these drive a little bit more like a car, and these drive a little bit more like a truck. Personally, I prefer the firm feel of these, but they're both pretty good. Now the next thing that's really interesting to see between the two of them, because often people think the cabs are the same, and they really are not. Look at the shape of the doors on this one, how it has this section that flicks out at the very bottom of the door and then comes in. Now look at the bottom of this, it doesn't have that. It literally rolls round like a smooth sill. Very, very different. And also the back of the cab, this is also very rounded with not very much shape in the back of it. Whereas the 2025-2500 has this kick. This cab is more like the older shape Ram 1500 cab. And there's some pros and cons to that. So I'm going to show you them now. So in the back of the Laramie 1500, Laramie and Limited, they're both very, very similar, apart from the Limited 1500s now have massage seats. Underneath these rear seats, you can see it has a totally flat floor. So if you were intending to put one great big flat box in there, that's pretty handy, isn't it? However, if you've ever been the owner of a 2500 Ram, like I was, And then you get used to how good that old Alpine sound system was in the 2017 model. And then you decide, do you know what? I'm going to go and test drive a TRX. Well, the TRX is based on the 1500. You get in there, you drive it around a bit, you put the sound system on, and you're faced with utter disappointment. It's like not a patch on the sound system that's in those. Now this is why. So flat floor is important, yes, but it no longer has a compartment for the subwoofer. Let me show you. Deployable steps you do get on the limited 1500. That's the lower model, that's why it's got fixed steps. But you can see, look, just by the shape, this doesn't have the flat floor. It has the subwoofer box underneath the seats, and it has a lump in the middle of the cab. So quite a different cab between the two of them. I will also confirm that the sound system is the same in the limited, even in the newest model. So if you get a 2025, you still don't get the sub under the seats. Put simply, if you're buying a 1500, you don't get a 2500 quality sound system. They're not bad, but they're nowhere near as good as those. The sound system in these, I will say, is better than most cars on the market. The 1500 sound system is comparable with most cars' sound systems on the market. Good, but not amazing. Heavy dutiness. 1500 is a lighter duty truck. It has a lighter duty chassis and lighter duty axles, and that can be noticed quite clearly by this. 6 studs on the 1500 and 8 studs on the 2500. These are considerably more heavy duty. Another big obvious difference between these two trucks, this one is primarily designed for heavy duty towing. It gets heavy duty towing mirrors. Now the older 2500s, they used to have the mirrors that would sit like this and then like this, and then when you wanted to flick them up for towing, they kind of went up like 2 ears, and they get some real stick. If you're like one of those people that flick the edge of your mirror up to make it, you know, better for towing, people take the mick out of you on the internet basically. They're like saying, oh, you've got your bro mirrors up and you've got your toe mirrors up, and yeah, it's hard to understand if you've not seen it, but you get ridiculed if you pop them mirrors up. So they've changed it. For the 2025 model, these mirrors have kind of gone a lot more square, and I believe, do they slide out? I haven't tried this yet. Yes, they do. They're probably electric, and I totally wasn't meant to pull that out. It's my truck. Whereas on the 1500, the mirrors are just mirrors, like normal mirrors. They don't pull out or lift or turn or anything. The spec on my 2500, I'll tell you a little bit about it. So this has got the black edition, so everything, or the night package or the sport package or whatever they call it, it basically means that everything's colour coded. I think you can get this, yeah, if you have a white truck, then certain bits get painted white, but still you get the dark lights and stuff. But it works better with black for obvious reasons. So all the bits that are normally chrome, like they are on this one, get done black, and I think it looks really, really cool. These are the standard wheels for a limited 2500 on a 2025, and they are a 20-inch wheel as standard, and it's still got a sizable chunky bit of tyre on. So if you're going to bang it up the curbs, these are probably what you want. Other bits of spec on this 2500 that I've opted for is a limited slip rear differential, which may hopefully make it better if I'm trying to pull a boat out of a slipway. It's also got rear air suspension. Now, I can't state how much better the rear air suspension is than not having rear air suspension. If you're used to hooking up and dropping off trailers on a tow ball on a regular basis, having fixed suspension if you're dealing with a heavy trailer is a total pain. Now, air suspension on the rear of these sets Ram apart from the competitors. You can't get that in a Ford. You've literally got the option of steel suspension and that's it. Whereas in these Rams, you have a tick box on the drop-down list when you're ordering one of these for rear air suspension, and it is absolutely fantastic. Living with one of these for 5 years, as I have, the older shape one, had the air, I would never go back. Ordering a new truck, it has to have air suspension, so check that box. Let's have a look at the comfort in the back. Now, as I described before, I'm 7'9", and I've got at least a metre of headroom there above me, which is pretty impressive. And in front of my knees, 2 metres, something like that, which is more than adequate for the average adult. Inside, I am presented with plush leather and luxuries. There even is a heated seat switch. So we've got a multitude of fabrics in this, which is really quite nice. This is just the standard if you order a Ram. I think there's 2 interior colours for the 2500, and this is obviously the black one. This being the limited top of the range model, you get this kind of almost like denim material in these small sections, which is really tasty. You get a little bit of yeehaw, eagle screaming sort of cowboy stuff there, which is nice. And then we've got this like nice European style perforation, which is really sweet. And let's just try it. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that is comfy. I could sit in here for hours. Did you hear that? Like a Golf. Do you want to see a secret compartment? Have a look at this, just under here. Look at that. A really deep box for keeping your things in. So the rubber mats underneath and these ones for a bit of comfort, and this pops out the middle. So if you want just rubber only, you can pop them out. There's electric rear window and a black headlining. Let's go and have a look in the front. Up in the front we can see we've got some new dials. The older one was analog and this one is like a full colour screen, which is really pretty sweet. Ready for another cool feature, the shift lever. So unfortunately the 1500 you get a twizzly little twizzle that's like turning the volume up and down. In the big man's truck, you know, the proper, you get a proper shifter. Watch this. That's a proper shifter. That's a proper shifter, that, isn't it? Those mirrors never do. Oh, they do. They are electric. You've got 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive high and 4-wheel drive low. A nice big screen, which you can do all kinds of things on. They've got rid of the buttons for like turning on your engine brake and stuff, so now you have to do it on the screen, which I'm not sure if I love that. It has some genuine timber. Now I'm not really sure what timber it is, but it is pretty nice. It kind of has this untreated, dark, raw timber, which is actually really quite tasty. It's not like the older Ram I had, which kind of had a plastic thing with like a photograph printed of timber onto it. That actually really is wood. So top marks for putting real wood in there. The entire top of the dash is leather. We've got these cool little leather grab handles, which is nice. And again, in the doors, we've got these large 6x9 speakers in the bottom, which sound absolutely awesome. Passenger screen. I think you can opt to not have that passenger screen. Can you imagine if you got the 2025 model and it came and it didn't have the screen? Oh, cameras. There's a lot of cameras. Have a look at this. We've got surround camera, backwards, forwards, another forwards, rear camera in the bed. So if you've got something in the bed and you've got to keep an eye on it, you know, like some hostages or sausages as they call them in the UK. And then this is a plug-in camera. So with the truck came a cardboard box and a camera that you can come put on the back of your trailer. So if you want to be able to see behind the back of your boat trailer, you can have a camera to do that, which is pretty sweet, isn't it? Should we do a little sound test between a V8 and the diesel? It's very quiet. Should we give it a little rev? Do you think it has a hard limiter? It doesn't have, this gets me excited. It doesn't have start-stop technology. So when you get to a set of traffic lights, it doesn't turn off. Thank you, Ram, for doing that. Nobody wants stop-start technology. Nobody wants it. Stop making it, manufacturers. And nobody wants a soft limiter. And it hasn't got one. That is sweet. We'll do an exhaust sound as well. Oh, they know what they're doing when they're building cars. Yeah, it's nice that. Right, should we see what the V8 one sounds like inside when we fire it up? Right, let's see what the petrol version sounds like by comparison. I'll give it a blip. I don't think this has a soft limiter either. Oh, it does. This one does have a soft limiter. Look, 4,000 revs. But it sounds good getting there, doesn't it? It's nice and quiet. Should we have a listen at the exhaust pipe, see what that sounds like? Should we take it for a drive and see what the differences are? Right, let's put it in gear. It's very silky, is the petrol. It's soft and silky. I'll put the windows up. They have been gangster tinted. This was an ex-Florida truck, which means the underneath is like new. Right, shall I show you the reason why you buy a 5.7 Hemi 1500? You ready? Wheel spin. Oh, it sounds glorious. They sound fantastic. That 5.7 Hemi, 395 horsepower, and it sounds like 500. It really is fantastic. We don't need to drive far in this because this is not what the video is about. But it's nice to give you guys a little bit of a comparison. They're not as good for towing, they are still a big truck. If you were maybe like a Ford Ranger owner, this would be a big upgrade. They're a nice big truck, but not 2,500 big. Shall I floor it? Yeah. Nice. These 5.7 Hemis really are a lot of fun. They just wheel spin for days. Just to fill you in a little bit more information about this 1500 Ram if you're interested in it, because it will be for sale as I have a new truck now. This is a crash damaged. It was a category N, non-structural, and it basically has a 5.7 litre Hemi, 395 horsepower. It's got 85,000 miles on it and it's in reasonably good condition. There's a little tear on the seat, the heat steering wheel doesn't work. There's some scratches around the body. The bonnet isn't quite straight because it was in a crash and I fixed it. But it's cheap. It's cheap. Go on eBay. About 25 grand to buy something like this. So a cheap way into a very nice new shape Ram. And the chassis on this thing, underneath, no rust. Ex-Florida truck. Very nice. Buy it now and then I'll buy some more random stuff and make you more videos. Let's have a go in the big one. Right, should we have a test drive in the new one? It's very quiet. This is a cool thing about the new one as well. Forgot to mention it. You get your phone and it just slots into a little, just slide that back. It just slots into a little thing there and it charges your phone up for you. How cool is that? That's a proper gear shifter, that, isn't it? It's a man's gear shifter, that. The steering is so different from this one to the other one. The diesel noise is more apparent, even though this is a very quiet diesel engine. Right. Ooh. It's firm, it's more firm. The diesel is more firm. It feels more just solid. You can tell it's a heavier machine. Don't you hate it when you hear someone review a car, they've got no mechanical knowledge whatsoever and you're just thinking, shut up.
It's a bit harsh.
Oh, exhaust brake. Love the exhaust brake. If you haven't had one, you have to get one. It's so good. So, it does feel like you're in a truck. See if I don't know if the engine's warm enough. Oh yeah, you can can hear that exhaust brake working. That's so cool. That's so cool. There's even a little dial that tells you how much exhaust brake you're using. Right, shall I put my foot down and see what it's like by comparison? The wheel spin straight away. Oh, it's got a lot of shove to it. It's not a slouch. This is probably faster than the petrol. Oh, exhaust brakes kicked in. So it tells you on that far left dial how many kilowatts of energy it's basically retarding the vehicle by, and you can feel it in the truck, like slowing down. So cool. It's like being in a big rig, but without being in a big rig. Pretend trucker. There's nothing worse, is there? It's very comfy and very smooth. I've spent a lot of time driving these bigger ones about, and this newest incarnation is very similar. It just looks cooler, better gearbox, and some nice little features for the passenger. I approve. It's Jimmy, look.
He's alive.
Hello, Bolly.
Hello, gangster.
This is on video,
Oh, fuck.
and you nailed it.
Thank you. Feel free to
Edit it, yeah.
bleep that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
What-
got it. What are you doing? What are you filming?
I'm just doing a video about the new Ram 2500.
Do you want to know something really interesting about videos? Like, really quickly. I was looking at...
I know, I can
revenue
imagine the
streams.
kind of videos you've been looking
No, wait, I like it. I was looking at the best source of revenue streams for videos.
Right.
And people are now posting like their car videos and stuff like that on Pornhub. And just titling it something completely, well, I was going to say obscene, but you know,
Probably
some
shouldn't.
people search for it.
I'm going to ring you back and just finish this video. I like you though.
All right, good luck. See ya.
So long, lad.
So long. Bye bye.
Now we're going to weigh the Ram 2500 and see what it is. And here we have our handy weighing scales, which goes up to, is it 1,000?
1,000 kilograms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot now.
Oh.
What do you think it's going to be? Coming 6.7. You know that's got to be at least
Yeah.
600 kilos or something.
Yeah. I think it's going to be like 2.3, 2.4 ton.
What, the whole thing? I've put a car jack underneath one of these before, and I'm going to say more. Over 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 3.5. I'm going to say, I might be totally wrong here, but I'm going to say truck's 3.5, nearly 2 ton on front end, a little over 1 on the back, but shall we find out?
Yeah.
No. No! It went over! To explain what's just happened there, when that says over, it means it's gone over 1,000 kilos. So, my guess of it being probably 3.5 tons, probably right.
Yeah.
This is the most useless scale on earth. Right, I'll do the back axle.
Yeah, we'll try it back. Yeah. Yeah.
A lot on the back wheel. It can't be a lot on the back end, surely. Ah! 800 kilos on the back wheel. There's no weight in it. Okay. Yeah, she's heavy. I bet
That's
yeah, that's probably... That's
yeah.
I'll turn it round. It might be lighter on the other side.
Yeah.
It might just be
Yeah.
the driver was in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's over.
Over. We'll do the next one.
Yeah. By 800.
So we know that the back axle's 800 a side, so 1,600 kilos, and the front goes over. So this vehicle, let's say that it only went over a little bit, which we
Yeah.
can't really guess, definitely weighs
Yeah.
At minimum, absolute minimum, let's say it's just 1,001 kilos per front wheel, which
Yeah.
is probably more, then it's like at least 3.6 tons, and it could be a lot more than that.
Yeah.
That is really heavy. There's no wonder these tow
Yeah.
well. We'll weigh the other one.
Yeah.
What is it?
780.
780?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
It's not too bad.
Not too bad. Right, back wheels. $590 and the other one was 800.
Yeah.
What? That's like a massive difference. Yeah. Wow. This looks like that, but it isn't the same thing at all.
It's really nice.
Wow. Right, I'm just going to turn around.
Yeah, you go straight like should be alright.
What we got?
Bang on 800.
800.
Yeah.
And was the other side 800?
I think that was
Seven something.
Yeah.
So we got 1.6 ton on the front end,
Yeah.
and then the back end. Did you say 600?
That's 620.
620.
15.
So-
600 now.
So we got 800s on the front,
Yeah.
600s on the back,
Yeah.
2,800. 2,800. Under 3 ton. That's massively different to that. So 2.8 tons is what your 1,500 Ram with a Hemi in it is, which I don't think is too bad, especially when you have the sound of the Eagles. Right, so to explain what we've done, which is pretty naughty, is these scales have got a 1,000 kilo limit. So we've zeroed the scales with a 600 kilo weight on them. And we're going to have to add 600 kilos to whatever it reads if it doesn't spaz out and if it doesn't break the scales. It shouldn't break the scales. It'll be fine. Okay, so 600 plus 600, 1,200.
Yeah. Does it still, like if you stand on it, does it still go up? Like it hasn't maxed it out?
I'm a bit in a bad place really there, aren't I?
Yeah.
Did it add 12 kilos?
Yeah.
Did it add it? Yeah. Right, I'll just move it. Let me just weigh the other side and then we'll make a conclusion. And we're on 600. Because I got out. We obviously calibrated them at 600, so 600 plus that, it was just a little over 600. So the conclusion then of what this thing weighs, 1,200 kilos per wheel on the front end. So 2.4 tons on the front end. That is like 4x4. Yeah.
4x4.
Yeah, like an X5 or...
Yes.
Is even an X5? G-Wagon's 2.6 and they're a really sturdy bit of kit. So really what you're looking at here, sort of here, is like a G-Wagon. It's an entire G-Wagon just there. Because Cummins 6.7, and I did stress that these things are good for towing. And that is why. When you've got that amount of weight over there, a 3.5 ton trailer isn't going to be able to do much to that. It's going to swing around all at once and this thing's just going to be like, whatever. So 2.4, it still doesn't even sound right saying that. 2.4 tons on the front end and the back end was 800 kilos a side, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So 1.6 on the back, that's 4 ton. That is a 4 ton truck just as it sits. It's full of fuel currently, so you'd be able to drop it down a little bit. So that should conclude the investment that you need, a Ram 2500. Stop buying Range Rovers, buy yourself a Ram. Big 2500 Ram, I like it a lot. It's diesel and I'm a diesel guy. Smaller 1500 Ram, pretty nice bit of kit if you're thinking about upgrading that Ford Ranger. 25 grand on eBay. Cheap, a cheap truck for someone like you. Someone like you. The big question you're all asking is, how much is one of these? How much is the good investment? Because that's not a bad investment, by the way. That's a good investment for anybody wanting to buy it. If you pay 25 grand for that, you're going to get 25 grand back for that in probably 5 years. That, you're not losing any money on this. How much is this? This cost me £87,000 plus VAT. As trends would have it, yes, they are normally worth that sort of money down the line. You can never imagine it when you buy it, but it happens. So if you're thinking about buying a new pickup truck or a new vehicle in general, you might be thinking about one of those pretty cool beefy Toyota 79 series and all those kind of things. Yeah, they're pretty cool. But if you want something with luxury that's also extremely unique and that can pull a house down and it has an exhaust brake, because let's face it, what else are you going to buy that's a light vehicle that's got an exhaust brake? The Ram 2500 would be my suggestion. I'm going to let you get on with your evening now. Thanks for watching. Next time I might bring you another vehicle. It might be a boat, it might be a car, it might be an engine, it might just be an engine dyno. Stay tuned.